The following podcast is a production focused on storytelling, exploring new TTRPG systems and their supplements. This podcast is not sponsored by any of the systems or their owners and is meant to be a fun, interactive book club. Respective credits for songs, sound effects, and resources are listed within the description or details. And with that, please enjoy, adventurer. So now we get to what's known as creating customs, laws, and their consequences. So there are actually several tables in here for strange and unique customs per town that you can create via the tables, as well as odd crimes and punishments, such as blue laws, like don't cross the street with a duck, that kind of thing. Um,
Elephant tipping.
Say what?
Elephant tipping.
Elephant tipping. It's just- what town's got elephants again? That's I don't know if we have formalized the name for them. At some
This
point, these are gonna
should
get
be
some more
Tusktown.
Tusktown,
Hmm.
Cotton Scale. Where's elephants? Elephants. There it is. It was where Halfton was. Halflings, half elves, humans. All right. So basically, we're weird people. People come
What?
up with weird laws, and we find unique ways of punishing ourselves because we are bored and tiny little creatures upon this blue marble, and we want to find ways to express that punishment to one another. So the customs that we have here, we've got a D20. Oh wow, some of these are going to be interesting. Wow. Okay. So let us start with at the very top here in good old country y'all in the metropolis of Hex City. I'm gonna go ahead and put this here for unique custom, and that's gonna be a D20.
N.
People of the town refuse to get into the water after dark and scoff at those who do.
The water?
Because this isn't established as any kind of, we didn't establish this being a coastal town or anything like that.
Because I just
Let me
saw
see.
if they're talking about the water, are they like talking about no, we don't take baths in the nighttime? Or are they by the water?
If we see here, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. There is a body of water right here that's in the southern region.
Is that grayish area denoting like mountains or just dry land or
I'm assuming. I don't know how this works beyond that. So
oh, I see the elevation that's oh yeah, it actually is when you hover over it, elevation went to
oh,
2700,
okay.
that
Interesting.
lower right. And so yeah, these are mountains. Or at least not mountains, but I guess mountainous.
Yeah. So I think that this town could be located in kind of close to this body of water here.
The metropolis,
Yeah, I think that it would be located there, right? That makes sense.
kind of in that whole kind of greenish area by the mountains.
Yeah, I'm gonna note that on the map here, just so we've got because if we already know where certain towns are gonna be exactly, that's good to just have it on there. So there's this body of water kind of directly at the foot of these mountains. So why would you think, just off the top of your head, like why would you think they'd want to not get in the water?
It's interesting how they phrase it as scoff because
Yeah.
it's not like they're afraid of it. It's just that they almost look down on it, but only after dark.
This is the Dragon Town or the Drake Town, correct?
Yes,
Metropolis.
the metropolis with the humans, dragonborn, and half orcs. Brick buildings, aluminum roofs, tin roofs.
Could be like that's the Dragon Hour or Draken Hour, where basically that's when people send their dragons to go soak. It's like, no, that's for the beasts.
No, yeah, that makes sense. That like
Oh, it's for
basically
the beasts.
no,
That's
it's for
for
the
the
yeah.
beasts.
Yeah,
Like, what are you doing with all the beasts? What are you doing? Like you're not a yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I like that.
I guess that's why they would scoff. What are you doing in the
Right.
water?
'Cause yeah,
It's
this
for the beasts. It's beasts
beasts.
time in the water. Yeah, I like how I
Mhm.
like for the beasts.
It's full of the beasts.
So then would it be okay during the day, I guess, because they're not gonna be in there?
No, yeah, because
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
after a day of patrol. It's after a day of working and everything like that. So like, yeah, that's when they're gonna go soak. So
Do drakes have dark vision?
I don't recall. I believe they do.
Because then it makes kinda sense for them to be in water at night, where it's also there's a danger factor. You can't really see if in a large body of water like that, but they would be fine. So not only would it be dangerous, but it's also for the beasts.
they do. Yeah, dark vision, 60 feet.
Nice. That makes a lot of sense. So they're all just kind of splashing around, relaxing. Some even just kind of maybe sit in the more shallow parts, and that's where they rest for the night and soak.
Okay, so now we've got strange and unique laws. So one, we're gonna roll a d4 to establish the number of laws that are unique to this town.
All right. Four.
Just all right. They don't trade much, but they're a very, very litigious town. Unique laws. So four. So
Makes
d20.
sense, actually.
First one, eight.
Eight. Wizards must wear the symbol belonging to their school of magic.
Interesting.
There's probably a reason. Next one, 18.
18. Blades longer than 2 inches are prohibited inside the city walls unless you are a butcher.
Blades
Blades
longer than 2 inches?
longer than 2 inches
What about
in
soldiers?
city
Do they
walls.
use spears?
Why would you need spears? You have great.
I imagine that a
Are
lot
there
of
Drake riders though?
drakes are decently sized. Like a guard drake, I think, is like the equivalency of like a lion, uh, like a proper lion. So I
I
think,
mean, even if they're walking alongside them, I mean,
yeah,
So then
yeah.
I wonder if their guardsmen maybe use like quarterstaffs, bows and arrows,
Oh,
more like like crossbows, hand bows, long bows, and quarterstaffs. No long swords, no daggers.
well, I mean, that's the thing is that it says blade. It doesn't necessarily mean that for everybody. I mean, guards could potentially still carry swords and stuff, but I mean, if you come into the city carrying a sword, then they don't allow it.
They
I
say
mean,
you need to leave that with us
right?
before you enter the city. Also, another sounds like there might have been a reason for that one. Uh, I'm ready to roll again. Sorry.
No, it's good.
14.
Donkeys and horses are prohibited from sleeping outside. I mean, it makes sense because you don't want the
They
drakes.
don't want them to
going to
pick one
go
up.
eating.
Yeah,
Yeah. These are these supposed to be strange? Because they all kind of make sense.
yeah, it's just
Those
common
were
sense
here.
law. Prohibited.
15.
One
Oh,
second
sorry.
here. From
Sorry.
sleeping outside, getting over eager over
They,
here.
a lot of these have a specific reason behind them. Like I feel like there was an event, some sort of stabby event with the
Just
At
swords
the
stabby
one.
event.
event.
I
I
couldn't
I
think of another word.
I
There
I don't yeah, I don't know how else to call it as beyond a stabby event. It was the fifth stabby event that we've had this week.
and there could have been something where wizards, not having their school of magic could have there might have been something that happened where it's like we want this to be known.
What was the
Another
last one
type
you
of
did?
event. Last one was 15.
15, right after that one. It's illegal to charge money for water. I mean, yeah, you got a water source there, and it's
They probably have to
Oh,
put out a lot of fires and everything with the drakes.
right.
So,
for bricks.
oh yeah, never mind. Well, clothes, hair, flesh.
And okay, so we can do this one here. It states there's a table for strange and unique punishments. So one thing that they note is that adding unique custom laws and punishments to your fantasy setting should not override the common conventions of law and justice that prevail in civil society. So basically, you don't want to be going over what would normally would consider to be a proper punishment or a proper law. We've got a D20 table for strange and unique punishments. I would say you only need to roll one because I think it just states one. So just D20.
19.
Hold on. Strange punishment. And I feel like this is not something that is commonly used. I think it depends on the crime. They are affected by a spell that makes anything they consume taste like burning hair for 4d6 months.
Oh, please
Oh,
roll that 4d6, please.
I think that's for
yep.
directly associated with when
Oh,
they actually
when it happens.
when it happens.
Let's just say something happened, and I
You're,
want to roll 4d4 just to see how many months.
are you prepping for when you do get this spell inevitably cast upon you when you break the law in this town, sir?
Like, does it depend on what's the? I wonder what the law is. Getting in the not getting in the water, maybe stabbing, not stabbing, but bringing
Going on a stabbing party.
just out of an initial board.
How long?
14,
So the
14 months.
Okay, I'm
You
gonna
said
keep note.
4d6? No.
4d6. So I'm gonna keep I'm gonna keep this in here. So if you inevitably do, I'm gonna say yeah. For 14 months, you taste nothing but burning hair.
this is in y'all, right? I
This is
mean,
in country, y'all. Yeah,
if you speak out against the um not the glistening towers, what did we go with? The
The
heavenly
Heavenly
towers,
Towers.
Heavenly Towers, League of Heavenly Towers.
because they're big into ministry, so it makes sense that they would do something orally fixated for a verbal crime.
If
No,
you
it's
speak out against them, I don't think they would be
Yeah.
that harsh. Not for this country. Because they're very they're not a they're doing fine in terms of
we're doing all right.
yeah, it doesn't seem like a place that's doing fine would punish somebody for speaking out against
Mm.
something. I think they would need to do rather than speak. Because if they spoke, I feel like they give them they would at least warn them before striking down with that strange punishment.
Or what would you call it? The dragon's tongue or something like that? Just be like, burning hair. Yeah.
Burning hair. I don't know because
I feel like they would use it
Ugh.
for like like
I would
theft,
lose weight so fast.
robbery.
I'm just saying, if everything tastes like burning hair,
Yeah.
everything.
Okay.
Yes,
Everything. Ugh,
It seems like a punishment for petty crimes.
yeah, but for
it's
14 months,
extreme. Extreme.
It's I feel like that would cut it down heavily as well.
crime. Just if you have a spell that
It would
tastes
cut
like
it down
burning hair.
heavily if like for petty crimes that was they're like you know people who had to endure it they're like I'm never stealing again.
Never again. You had a soap in your mouth. How about hair in your mouth? Burning hair in your mouth.
You got somebody on like their like
Angela.
last day sitting in front of like a real like their burger. They're like 3, 2, 1. Oh, I'm never stealing again. Oh God, meat. Yes, it's been so long. But
But
that would be my idea. Like if it was for petty crimes or something.
petty crimes. Okay.
Hmm?
That's so extreme for petty crimes, but I
Well,
mean,
it's a
hey.
little extreme for speaking against the heavenly towers too.
What's
Well, or
hilarious is
just
that
the magistrate or whatever, the high power of the land.
what is hilarious is that the minimum amount of months that you can eat that you taste burning hair is 4. Just that's the minimum that you
God,
would get out of this. 46. Just
so
minimum
bad.
4 months. You get burning hair.
What other punishment would this would it be like what type of a crime?
I
Harming the
don't
drakes?
no, it's yeah, that's the thing is that I find that this is not I feel like this is not a very specific instance that would be used. It would not be I don't know. But in any case, let's move on to the unique customs associated with that of the coastal town of Squatin, of that of the Dragonborn and the humans, potions, shellfish, axes, and impact weapons. That is going to be a D20.
4.
The customary greeting is to slap the other person in the face to display your own strength and your respect for theirs. Man, the humans are getting the raw end of the deal in that.
Really
Oh,
are.
good job, Bill. You're getting stronger. Knocks him out.
And a lot of the humans here have very red faces. Perhaps they drink quite a lot.
I imagine that would lead to almost like the humans would have fashionable headwear that was like a helmet, basically. It's like
It's
padded
just,
on the side, just
morning, Ted.
protect them.
Morning, Bill. How's the wife? Better. We had
How are
family
the
visit.
kids?
They had family visit the other day. They all said hello. She's
They all settle low.
she's in bed for a bit. I gotta write that down.
Hi,
Like,
Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Hey there, Lisa.
Oh dear God, did you say the triplets were coming? Just
This is a daily greeting or a
it says the customary greeting. That is the
customary.
customary greeting.
Customary.
These people have one side of their face is just like up to like 3
That's
inches.
that's what I'm saying. They gotta have
oof.
like a strange padded headwear that just covers one side.
I'm gonna put just potentially strange padded headwear on the humans, because I imagine that the Dragonborn are just not
They're
having
fine
any
with it.
problems at all.
It's just
No.
for the human. That's great. All the humans are walking around with like this fashionable
What,
half helmet.
sorry, I forgot, what role did we do for the, oh, no, wait, that's what custom, I think, was just the one, right, so it's laws. Uh, D4.
A 4.
Alright, 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 so that's a D20.
14.
14. That is donkeys and horses are prohibited from sleeping outside. We'll just keep that because that's kind of generally
They
Common
need a
sense.
stable.
next up.
17.
Uh, bear fights must take place indoors.
What?
On the coastal town. Okay, cool.
Again, there's must be a reason for this. There must have been an outdoor bear fight that went really sideways.
Uh, I mean, I think it's in Illinois. It's illegal to have a donkey in your bathtub. There's no explanation as to why that law exists. It's
Oh
just
god.
weird, weird stuff.
Like ice, what was it? I forget. One was like a duck on someone's head. I forget. Like, it was something involving a duck. I
Stupid
know they
laws.
usually involve livestock because they were all laws made for farmers
Way back
of
when.
doing things. Just were like, what are you doing, Farmer Ted, with that duck on your head? That's illegal.
I
You can't stop me, Kaffa. I've got to wear this duck.
like
Uh,
the idea of there being like a bear
Quit running
arena in this
afoul of the
town.
law.
It's a
but
7 out of 10.
7 out of I am curious about the bear fight, but okay, so the next one, unique
7.
law 7. All property disputes shall be settled by magical snail races.
Magical
Hmm.
snail races.
Last but not least, 4.
Oh, bags of holding are illegal inside city walls.
Oh,
Interesting.
okay, all right.
Bags of holding. What is the trade in this town?
Potions, shellfish, axes, and impact weapons. I can imagine that there's a level of. Oh, that makes sense for snails too. So I imagine that the potions aspect could probably play into that of the bags of holding
Yeah.
being illegal.
Yeah, they want to make sure that they are tracking import and export out of the town, maybe, and so
Mhm.
there's no shenanigans with the with a magical bag of holding being able to smuggle.
I want to know about the bear fights. I'm sure there's a story there at some point, but strange and unique punishments. D20.
6.
Compelled to shave off their eyebrows and drink them mixed with mead. See these
For what?
punishments. I don't know what it's for, but I mean that's what it says for the strange unique punishments. I okay.
Why
It sounds
again?
like a
Is there
bet.
hair? Eyebrow hair. Why?
I mean, it's that's I would be that would be the I would be the most fine with drinking that. I'd rather drink eyebrow hair than any other hair.
I mean it's so grainy though, wouldn't it? Like it feel like
Yeah,
you'd be
but
coughing for
just
It depends
no
on how
thank
much
you.
mead you're drinking too. So
full on just chug it
Just
down.
like
yeah, to just chug it.
frickin'
Be-
hairball that would
I
awful.
mean,
You know, eyebrow consumption strategies aside. So we'll have to figure out it's the fun. Good lord. I so that's the thing about these punishments is that like I guess these are purely for if the DM is just like I need to fuck with my players. You know what? Here.
Right. Absolutely. It's like, "Did you wear a left shoe on your right foot?"
Because one of
Eyebrows.
the because one of these
did
is
you
like
not slap me?
do not slap me. That's the punishment. Drinking your eyebrows.
"Excuse me, sir, you did not slap my wife."
You did not slap my wife. You didn't
I,
I
even
was
she
so
at
you
least it
did
looks like there was. It's been. She just had the reunion. I just wanted to give her a rest.
not even a passing glance at my child! Look at him as he weeps! He thought himself a man, but you treated him as a boy.
You dishonor my family, the baby.
Now
Ah,
slap me!
Bring me the mug. Bring me the mug.
Tell
And
you, now slap me!
just slap him, honey. Just slap him.
Just slap the baby, honey. Just slap the baby. Don't take that out of context.
Just slap the baby.
new
Okay,
merch
moving.
out now.
Squareville, a coastal town with tieflings, alkin, humans, and half orcs, with
Ooh,
fish, spell scrolls, and alchemical explosives. Their unique custom is what?
D20.
D20.
6.
6. Ooh. Um, Citizens are always behind a threshold by dusk to avoid a horror they refuse to name.
What town is this?
Elgin Town.
Squareville, coastal town, tieflings, alkin, human, half orcs, protected trade routes, fish, spell scrolls, alchemical explosives. Hmm.
I wonder if they make the explosives to keep whatever it is at bay.
It is a coastal town. Citizens
Some
I,
are.
wa-
eldritch horror that comes out of the water, you know?
I'm
That's why they can't
imagining the
talk about it.
town. I'm imagining the town is lined by this what appears to be like fencing, when in reality it is a large beginnings of explosives that like circle the town.
Oh, what if they have like mines, like old school mines in like the coat, like in the water that they kind of just keep there?
Oh, like on the chains and stuff like that?
Yeah.
And you said they have to be behind a threshold?
Citizens are always behind a threshold by dusk to avoid a horror they refuse to name.
I imagine on the beach, there's just, it's never talked about, it's never explained. Just a wall of oily black stone. And they have to be on the right side of that wall before dusk.
And we're on the coast, yeah.
hmm So I'm thinking it's got to be some big
Facing deep
eldritch.
facing the deep water. So
Yeah,
something that passes by.
something big.
Something passes by, and if something is beyond that threshold, it takes.
Oh, so you're thinking more like maybe like a siren or just I suppose just some
Something.
tentacle
I think it's
monsters.
a thing, because you said there's like a barrier that's there, that if
hmm
somebody is beyond that, when
Just
dusk
drags them
comes,
out to sea.
something, they are unable to come out of the water. Something takes
Mm,
them,
some sort
but
of kraken.
they refuse to name it. I also feel like this might be something that they feel like they would deliberately face away from.
Yeah, I imagine
Yeah.
that this is something that they live with, but they are aware that it is something you just kind of have to deal with. Go ahead and give me a D4 for crimes and punishments. Or no, excuse me. Unique laws. There we go.
This is me.
I
D4.
believe so.
Here comes the
hmm
D4. Ah, only 2.
Only two. D20.
They have enough to deal with.
But they got
I guess.
they got so much to deal with. Come on.
D20. That's gonna be a 5. You ready to do a 5?
No, intoxication is not tolerated on every fourth day. I wonder if that kind of can potentially correlate to like they have to be behind a threshold by dusk of a horror, but maybe there's something even worse that happens on every fourth day that they're like you cannot be without your senses on this day.
Like, you need to have your full capacity
Yeah.
Mm.
on this day. Every able-bodied person must be within their full faculties.
What happens in this town?
Mhm.
Mm.
Oh, my.
Law number two.
Interesting. It did 5 again, but I can roll something else.
Sure.
18.
That's blades longer than 2 inches are prohibited inside the city
Mm,
walls unless you're a butcher.
uh, doesn't
Want
really
to try?
make sense with this one.
Want to try
Try
another
again.
one?
Yeah.
Try again.
Try again.
6.
1 day a year, each citizen must volunteer to catch vermin or clean the streets. Hmm.
Mm.
1.
1 day a year is
This town has some really, really
Strange rituals and stuff. Yeah.
that if not kept up with, I feel like spells doom. for this town, which is quite scary. And just a one
It's a
day a
living.
year, one day a year, each citizen. How big is this town?
This is a small town, so that's the equivalency of I think 500 people, 500 to 2,000 people.
So they have a person, and this is going on a circle of well over a year, maybe to a few years that they've got one specific person. This place must be. I'm imagining this place must be immaculate. They do not want vermin in the streets, and they want the streets to be clean. They want their people to be sober on every fourth day, and they need to be behind a threshold. This is something that values like cleanliness
Something
and
watching
rigidity. Rigidity? No. Like they like staunch following of these rules.
rigidity.
Yeah,
Rigidity?
something that's basically so old that there is a distinctive like method to the madness that you have to do to appease probably what's most likely some kind of eldritch horror or face spirit. That's like you need to do these things or else it is going to take you or it's going to do something to you.
And the people who live there are now probably not very concerned.
I would
It's
imagine
just
that they basically, from what I'm getting from this, is that it is a horror that they refuse to name, but it sounds like several established and protected trade routes protect neighboring cities and nations. I think that they just carry on. You know, it's not even a matter of like everyone just kind of takes it as it
oh,
is.
and they fish, so they have to go out into the water.
Yep.
So they can only fish up to a certain time before they have to go back behind the threshold. I wonder if they're very like prosperous or they're like they do well as long as well
They keep the spirit happy or
the
Yeah.
the being
thing,
happy.
the being.
Hmm.
So let's do then a strange punishment.
I want to know how the owl can fit in all that, what their
Oh,
role
true.
is.
Are there
They're the
owls
night
that live on
guard.
the coast at all, or
That's a friend of mine's question. They study owls. Um,
I wonder if they were brought in due to this like a long time ago. They were brought in as outside help when they brought their scrolls and everything as to how to deal with this thing, and they set up the rituals a long time ago, maybe.
oh yeah, I feel like the Alkin actually would probably be connected to it as far as because they're uncommon enough that I feel like they'd be aware of something that's been living on the coast for so long.
yeah, there's actually a few of them that are listed as coastal snowy
Owls.
owls are one of them.
Oh,
Be pretty.
Hmm.
just curious because then it'd be fun to have like different owl types living on the coast.
Strange punishment D20,
D20, yes.
D16 or 16.
Forced to tend the city's garbage heap and care for the cantankerous Otiug that resides there for no less than 1 month. So I'm sharing. So I will do my best to describe what this looks like. So that's an Otiug.
Oh, that's kind of cute. Okay.
Um, so the best equivalency I can give is that it is a tentacled rhino hippo dog. Kind
It
of. It's
looks like a snapping turtle, a displacer beast, and yeah, a
that's
mimic
probably a
had a baby.
more
Oh,
apt description. It is a aberration. They're actually very solitary. I mean, this might be
so that
something that's
lives in the
like
dump.
I love that this thing lives at the dump, that they just have it there. I just like that this is just their thing that eats
And it
garbage.
can and it can
Oh, that's
talk to it
Obi.
can
He's
talk to
fine.
you in simple telepathy. Feed me.
All
Yeah,
right.
limited telepathy, speaks the language Otiag.
Clean.
Clean.
How did they get a get something like this to be here?
I
I
don't
imagine it just
know.
crawled into the dump and just refused to leave.
I'm trying to think. Let's see if I can actually look up what the actual wiki, like what is the wiki? This thing, Forgotten Realms. Okay. We're a type of Gothra, so yeah, things that consume trash and shit. Yep, dung eaters. Underground, a delight in the eating of filth and offal. Stranger creatures below those oval-shaped bodies around 8 feet wide, stood on three shuffling elephantine legs and a disgusting rock-like hide. Oh, there's a little, it's a little thing for like motion. Um,
Aw.
Well, what's the history of this thing?
You're going, "Aw."
Sorry, I think they're kind of cute.
Devour the carcasses of the slain under deep. Like, what are these things? Okay, I guess they're just okay.
Does it say
Interesting.
anything about like area of like where they do they congregate more towards?
Underground
Oh,
favorite
okay.
terrain, underground. So like they're trash. The trash things. The trash monsters.
Got it.
I'm gonna call it Oscar.
It sounds
Oscar.
good.
Next up, then we've got the Circleton, the grasslands area with the gnomes, dragonborn, and halflings. They had timber, cold iron, weapons, and wine as their trade, potentially near a fort. Their stuff is usually potentially dyed a dark purple or red from their wine trade. So, unique custom
16.
16.
Hmm.
I don't really agree with this one. No one in town will use a sword, and they consider those who do to be untrustworthy. I don't know. That
Yeah.
No,
doesn't, especially magical
No.
weapons and stuff. That does not make
no.
Right.
sense.
Yeah. 6.
That's the same one as before. Citizens are
Good
always
one.
behind a threshold by dusk.
15.
15. Every fortnight, a large eagle is crafted out of stone and wood, upon which is carved the greatest desire of the day. An old mage then animates the eagle, and it soars away.
I mean, they do have timber, don't they?
They do.
Every 2 weeks they make a wooden construct
Every
burger and
Wood.
just
Imagine that eagles were used to carry messages from the outpost back to their main area, and for some reason, like the eagle was the thing that saved the day or something.
oh, so
Like,
it's like a
commemorate the yeah, like
yeah, so
commemorate
it's
the
more of a
brave eagle.
memory of the eagles that were used in the garrison and stuff. Okay.
Something like that.
I like that they do this every 2 weeks, and I feel like they're giant, right? They're huge.
Uh,
So
Yeah.
you
yeah.
should see these giant wooden eagles flying every 2 weeks from probably all over.
Wonder where they go.
I think they probably just they go somewhere, right? So
Away to
can
their
you
people.
Away. Back
imagine
into
what would
the
happen? Imagine what would happen if 2 weeks later and you didn't see it.
Mm,
Like that would be cause
mm,
for
alarm.
you're like where's so I
right.
imagine that by now people expect to see these giant eagles at least once every 2 weeks, and they've come to expect it. And that I could imagine almost like a quest where people haven't seen a giant eagle in
And
about
some
2 months.
I had
Hmm.
my eagle T-shirt on and everything. I was ready for Eagle Day.
Suppose it would be kind of a tourist attraction if you'd, be like the ceremony of the eagle, you know,
Right.
whatnot.
Yeah.
Because I feel
People
like maybe
contribute a stick or something.
they maybe go south and they just fly across the water.
Oh, there you go.
Although
So for
then
laws,
people wouldn't see it then.
they could
Just a
light
bit
it up.
dumb.
Who knows?
Yeah.
It's on fire. Oh God.
The what's what majestic creatures.
Reaching into the night, just like yeah. Perfect.
So enchanting. Give you a D4 for
Melodious.
unique laws.
That would be 4 unique laws for
Four
these.
unique laws. Okay.
Mhm.
D20.
Kind of makes sense. 5.
Intoxication is not tolerated on every fourth day.
I mean, for a garrison, that kind of makes sense. 4,
One
unless we
second.
want to re-roll that 5.
No, I think that's fine.
Feel like their reasoning would be like this is like you were saying with a military garrison, maybe inspection day.
Oh,
Yep.
there you go.
What was the last one?
4.
Bags of holding are illegal inside the city walls.
All
That's
right.
a common enough law that it should be something that almost nearly most towns would have, depending on
Mm.
their stuff they're trading.
17.
Reroll. That's the bear fights.
Dang it. 6. Oh, sorry, 18.
That's the blades.
God damn it. 12.
At noon every day, the city goes silent for 1 hour. Sound of any kind is illegal.
Moment of silence.
Some
An
good
hour of
old.
silence, you said.
Yep.
Wow.
And this is at noon?
Yep.
It sounds like a combined moment of silent moments of rest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can imagine that.
You
Last but
said
not least,
sound of any kind. I'm so sorry. Never mind.
No, you're good. Sound of any kind, basically.
part off the guy who sneezes. He's got hay fever. Screw that guy. 3.
This makes sense. Wind instruments are banned.
It's a bugle and this is a bugle household.
It's just a lone recorder in the middle of this hour of silence. It's like
It's just snap it.
Comes in, drinking. It's the fortnight, or it's the fourth day. He's
the
drinking and
fortnight.
here you
Ooh,
go.
extreme punishment. Or
Enough, Reggie.
put the shards in the eagle and send it for the odd punishment. 17.
Odd punishment. 17. Hung upside down in the square and so have to do a day's worth of beatings by any and all comers.
Could you run that by me once more?
Yeah, once again.
Did you not hear my
Well, just once
No,
more,
I'm trying to
just for
process it.
clarity, right? I need to.
Yeah, sure. So hung upside down in the square and subjected to a day's worth of beatings by any and or all comers.
Oh no! What if someone's having a really bad day? They're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go out to the square. I'll be right back."
Hour of silence happens.
Oh, what if someone's out there during the hour of silence?
That's what I'm saying. Like all of a
You're just
sudden, that's
like,
when the pliers come out, and it's like, oh boy,
oh, that seems really cruel.
military. I mean,
You go and like,
you have to be a serious offense, though.
just like ripping out a
The
tooth.
face you just
Sorry,
made.
I'm glad
It's-
there's no video for
I,
that.
I don't even know how to describe that beyond that it's just
Like
odd.
gleeful
gleeful,
brutal, gleeful cruelty.
gleeful cruelty. That's not something I would should ever picture you having, man. Like, what?
One can only describe as turns the screws face.
That is an odd crime.
So Tusktown, whatever you want to call it, unique customs.
4.
So number 4. That's the slapping again. I mean, let's really want to
Oh, is
keep it
there
going.
4 unique customs, I
No,
believe?
no, 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 no.
Or is
So
it
for customs, it's just the one D20.
sorry, D20 then. Unique custom 13.
13. Before all social dealings, everyone in town offers their companions a sip of clear, blessed water from a small crystal vial. They claim it promotes honesty and transparency.
Oh, and this is the
Interesting.
dangerous trade town?
This
I
is
guess
the
they would want honesty, huh?
That makes sense. Social
Hmm.
dealings.
You're telling me the truth today. Take a sip.
Are those beets really fresh? You better be telling me the truth.
They're like, oh no. Then take a drink.
I'm almost wondering. So it promotes truth telling. So would this be kind of a situation where if you lie, it just, bleh, you know,
I don't think it's anything magical. I think it's just it's
A
it's a
blessed.
it's like a blessed thing. It's just something that's just like it's just blessed water. But if you lie, it's one of those things where it's like you know they would maybe use a phrase saying like you've made it turn to piss in your mouth or something. Like I don't know. Just
Sure. More symbolic than anything.
yeah.
fair enough. Yeah.
So give me a D4 roll for odd laws.
1.
Well, okay then. Uh, give me a D20 roll.
That's going to be 10.
If weapons are drawn in the city, they must draw blood but not cause death. I think the way that the city is orchestrated, it makes sense of where just what they're trading at and what they're doing of the matter of like everything is very clear cut, where you speak honestly. If you're going to take a blade out, you better cut me or you better draw blood or something. It almost feels like a situation of like people are of their word in this town because they're dealing with certain dangerous trade routes and everything like that. So they just simply are like, you are doing this, you better do it.
And I feel like
Well,
they say if you're drawing weapons, where you're not you're not killing anyone here. This isn't the place for that. But if you feel so inclined,
put your
you
money
know,
where your mouth is. Should
Right.
call this place Candor.
Andor?
Candor, like candor, being forthcoming and honest.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Endor. No, I dig it. I'm liking it. Endor. All right. Give me a punishment.
D20.
Yes,
Punish
please.
me.
I
One.
knew
One.
I don't know why. I knew in some way one of you was gonna say it or something.
Mhm.
I didn't even catch what she said.
Oh, would you like to repeat for the class?
I said, "Punish me."
Got it.
So,
So I rolled a one.
Yeah, 1. So a 1, just so you know, your punishment is subjected to the bestow curse for 1d100 days.
woofda.
Oh,
100 days.
good. I rolled a 5 on a D100.
What is
Still terrible, but
I need to know bestow. Like what does
I
that
get to
do again?
choose what happens to you, don't they?
You touch a creature and the creature must succeed a wisdom saving throw or become cursed duration of the spell. Choose one ability score while cursed target has disadvantage. Disadvantage on attack rolls against you. While the target is cursed, your attacks and spells deal an extra 1d8 necrotic damage to the target. Interesting. So basically, the equivalency of this is that I feel like if this was just a random person giving the curse to just some person, it's just like this old woman being able to do an additional 1d8 necrotic damage. But just this old judge woman, just like,
Yeah.
I drink your potion, and now I'm gonna slap your shit.
You wanna cause trouble in this town? Yeah, you're gonna get trouble back.
Just rolling up her sleeves. Just like, Tri-Town. Moving to
Uh,
Tri-Town. Triangle shaped moat filled with giant eels, humans, gnomes, tieflings, and half elves. With veggies, with you know what? We're gonna say kale. We're giving you that. We're giving you that.
yeah.
kale.
We're giving you
Oh,
that kale.
it's a power
Uh,
food.
11.
and that is gonna be clerics dressed in all black with blank masks show up anytime someone dies. They take the body for funeral rites. No one questions this.
Taking
Cool.
the eels.
Oh my god. Clerics.
When the corpse hits your eye like a big pizza pie, it's okay, 115. I think we've got that one before.
How many was that?
Just one.
Just one. And you rolled a
15. I think
it's
we got that one
illegal
before.
to charge money for water.
Okay. Do we want to try another one or keep that
Try
one?
another one. Let's see what the book brings
Try
us.
another.
10.
10. That's weapons drawn in the city must draw blood.
Uh,
Another.
um, 7.
7. Magic snail races.
Okay, 17?
Bear fights.
15.
We
No, we
did
got
15.
15. God
15.
damn it. Nat 20.
At 20. All citizens and visitors must purchase and carry a walking pass to move about the city.
What?
Wow.
You got your walking pass.
Walking.
I'm
Walking.
sorry. I'm sorry.
I just
Can I
wonder.
run?
So they got the moats. The moat around. I wonder if it almost has canals that are also covered with eels. So walking along the sidewalks, you need a permit, but you can take the gondolas if you like.
It's almost like a waiver. You are paying to walk around here and also acknowledging the danger of the eels.
Are you eel certified? No? Then get back in the boat. And the last one is a D20 for the weird punish. Okay. 3.
What the
It's a good
Petrified
start.
and must serve as a city statue for 1d100 hours. I was about to say, I thought that
Oh,
said days. I was like, what the? Well, we're just gonna take a break for the session to just kind of role play you being a statue for several hundred days.
And the next hour passes and a bird lands on your shoulder, makes a nest in your left nostril, and then takes a shit. Congrats.
Petrified and must serve as a city statue for d100 hours. I don't. Okay, I get it. I know that these are purely weird punishments. I don't even know if anyone. I don't know if I'd even use them
it's a
sometimes.
max of like 4 days and a few hours.
That's if you try to pet the eels.
You try to pet the
That's when
eels,
you
you could turn the
you
statue.
try.
Or try to steal one of them, sell them, eat them.
A giant eel? It's like the size of a bus.
Wait, really?
If we're going by giant as in like the
Oh, Okay, I
You
was
know
about
what?
to.
Let me see what it is and
I didn't
wait,
know
what
if
do
like you knew some kind of zoological situation involving an
no.
actual eel of being the
What
size of a bus, and that frightened me of my already terrible fear of the ocean.
no, they do have something called pharyngeal jaws. Do you know
No,
about
I
those?
know about those. I know about those alien motherfucking things. Like
So are they the designated giant size, or does it just say giant eels?
it says giant eels, which I don't. It doesn't. Well, I'm curious actually if there is a stat block for
The only
giant
one I could
eels.
find is giant lightning eels, which look like a blast.
This is unofficial. This is huge beast. So I don't think this is the no. That's no, because huge is like the equivalency of like that's no.
Well, there's one that a giant sea eel that's from the Ghost of Salt Marsh.
That's
Uh,
large.
In a moat?
Well, actually, large
big ol'
beast.
moat.
Large beast. That's like I think that's like 30 feet.
God, can you imagine a 30-foot long eel? Its head would have to be this size. I mean,
Of the
can
moat.
you, ima- can
From the
you imagine
mo-
the hugs you could give them? Just big old.
Why you want to hug an eel?
I don't know.
The same
They're
reason
fun
she
looking.
thought the trash monster was cute.
Listen, animals are cute.
All right. I'm gonna save that for later. I'm gonna try to find some animals I'm fairly certain are not cute. Make sure-
Deep sea creatures, those things straight out of hell. Those are like
right.
if you see some of those like creepy bottom feeders, I recognize that they're necessary, but some of them
Yeah.
just make you go, "Ugh."
I'm not
Like,
cuddling up to an angler,
no, 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 no.
or even a blobfish. No, I'm not doing that.
Blobfishes are actually really pretty when they're not
Oh,
pulled
right,
to the
yeah.
surface and depressurized.
Yeah,
But
fair. Crisscross, applesauce. That is the city we are going with. The sentient oozes with their trade relations of biology and botany and limestone for building materials. So let's see what is unique about their customs here with these sentient oozes, half orcs, tieflings, and elves.
With that D20 on this one,
Sure.
7.
In the middle of town, the citizens tend a fire that has burned for generations. It is said if the fire goes out, calamity will follow. Mm.
Another impending doom on a town. We're doing fine in country, all. Just a few things
we're
we got to
doing
keep up with. We're doing fine.
Just keep burning. Just keep it alight. Just keep it alight in the now.
Oh, that's another potential quest then. What if it goes out? Some sort of fallout.
As you
What are
do.
this what are the sizes again? Small, medium, large?
Small, medium, large, huge, gargantuan.
I was gonna say for the size of the do we want to like for the size of the fire, small, medium, or large?
I
Like
would
how
say
big
large.
would you say it would be?
I would
Big
say
brazier.
so. This is a village. So I
Well,
imagine that this is not going to be super big, but it's going to
Hmm.
be, decently sized in the center of town.
Hmm.
I would say about like a moderate, medium size, you know. 'Cause imagine it's probably like got a good brazier, like you were saying, or something that's like a formal or just has been built to kind of keep the fire going.
Like I feel like they would be feeding that like hourly
Yeah.
with things. Like maybe that's
things.
I wouldn't want to say that's where the trash would go, but possibly. They just keep it stoked, but I don't I feel like burning trash in the middle of the town might
Oh,
be a little
the smell. Oh, listen, that was part of the lore before we ever started on this mess. We're just keeping it in kind.
cannot wait till we name this country.
There has to be something.
Hoot
Something
dang.
hoot dang. What is a famous really quick, what's a famous like country singer?
Dolly Parton.
Dule Potin. Shania
Right. No,
Twain, Willie Nelson.
McIntyre.
we have to remember this is a podcast. We could really piss off some people.
I listen, this is not meant to mock, if anything. I really am not trying to mock. It's just it coincidentally is just happening. And I'm not even saying because there's some southern songs I really enjoy and southern singers and stuff. Like Dolly
Yeah.
Parton, hell yeah. Reba
Oh,
McEntire,
absolutely.
okay. Johnny
Mhm.
Cash, my goodness.
Oh,
Um, but yeah, I'm just it's just inspiration for any kind of I do not recognize any of these people though. Taylor
Grit,
Swift. She's country?
grits and
Early,
no.
early Taylor Swift.
Early Taylor Swift is country?
Okay, early.
I have no idea.
More folk than anything, but
Yeah,
Okay. I always pictured her as pop.
yeah, she is pop now, but early Taylor Swift with folk country.
Now you know.
Gritsington. No,
Gritsington?
Southern thing.
We'll get to it. We'll find it. We'll find it. Unique laws. D4, please.
4.
My goodness, the laws in this. All right, roll them up.
Okay, first one, D20. 19.
19. Feeding alcohol to a sea creature is prohibited. Where is this
Are they
located?
a coastal
We
town?
haven't determined.
We haven't determined biology, botany, limestone. We have to. It feels like considering that a majority of the town, like the areas of grasslands and hills, we are getting a lot of coastal
Yeah,
towns, which isn't bad. I mean, this looks like it would be that they would kind of
There'd be
have
a
their
few, I guess.
kind of makes sense
Um,
why that dead zone would be in the middle of the continent because there wouldn't be enough resources there to sustain, or maybe there's not enough water.
yeah.
Grasslands could be dead, you know, very vegetative, poor.
13.
Art depicting animals of any kind is prohibited.
What did it
Wait,
say?
what is it?
Art depicting animals of any kind is prohibited.
Okay.
I can't live there.
Interesting. Of any kind is prohibited. I am
I
hmm.
can't. What the?
I'm curious what the hell happened with this situation. Just
Rolling the next one.
okay.
That's going to be 17.
17. That's gonna be you know what? We're keeping this. I don't care. Bear fights. This city is just against animals. So bear fights are
No bear fights, no dog pictures.
bear fights must
Oh,
must take place indoors. What's the last one?
These bear fights really need to let me
Be
re-roll
indoors.
again. He gave me another 17.
Again, I must
Yeah.
reiterate: bear fights must be indoors.
It's just like 3 separate like bulletin boards. The text is getting bigger and bigger. 9.
9. Uh, spellcasters must register with the city guard upon entry into the city. I guess that's like the one of the only ones that seems actually like logical.
That's very logical. Are you a spellcaster? Yes. Okay. What type? Can you cast Firebolt? That is very helpful for
Um,
burning
please keep it out of
fire.
reach of children.
punishment.
D20.
Yep, Purdue.
17. Another 17.
Hung upside down and getting the absolute shit beat out of you for an entire day. You drew a cow.
Gave it a smiley face.
You know what? Do another one. I want to see what punishment we can get.
Yeah, true. 18.
Cursed with a magic mouth spell on their forehead for 1 month. If anyone comes within 10 feet of them, the mouth screams, "I'm a degenerate and cannot be trusted."
Is this for the art again? With
I'm a degenerate. I drew a cow. I can't be trusted.
man, I guess Amanda was spot on. Okay. Uh, that's
Oh,
that's
I
pretty. This is pretty on the nose. What are they burning in the
what the yeah, what are they burning? What are
Art,
they
all
burning?
the art.
All the art. All the
There's so much.
I do I we're getting a bit loopy here because so frame of reference if anyone is listening to this at point depending on how I'm editing this if future Tim if you're editing this I don't know what your state of mind is right now but I'll assure you our state of mind at this point is
man.
insanity with these tables and everything like that and we will
Oh wow.
soon be wrapping this up but please bear with us as we get through the final of these can you imagine if we had to do all the other towns Like, that this is great, amazing, and beautiful. I love this, but
Oh,
holy fuck.
This
oh
is not like
man.
a one sitting thing. If you're making a world, it's gotta be days. You gotta take it in bits and pieces.
Bits and pieces. We're
Oh,
not we're doing whole piece here, just fully taking off a chunk. All right, so next up is Artist Abbey, Old Town. Elves, tieflings, and gnomes. They trade in sodium, black armor, jet, corn, and glass. They are a town of artisans, so a unique custom, if you please.
12.
12. Oh, interesting. On the occasion of their 8th birthday, a child can enact one law that must be followed in the community until the child dies or leaves town?
What?
What?
An
What?
8-year-old? Would you
What?
know what kinda like, give me cake. That would
That
be like an 8-year-old's law.
that's not a unique custom. That's
No,
who?
that's anarchy.
I wonder if the children here are very like they're raised around artisans, and so they're being like, ask for better materials, and they're like coaching their kids.
Oh yeah. Like basically, it's the one chance. Essentially, it's weirdly enough like the one chance lobbyists have to go to children. Essentially, like, please, please, we need better roads. Can you ask for that? I'm a pony.
My
What do you
God,
give me?
they have to
Chocolate.
enact a law, is
Can
what you
enact
said.
yes, can enact one law that must be followed in the community until the child dies. A lot of child murder in this
Well, is
town.
this the
I was gonna
elves?
say there's a lot of infanticide here.
There's
Oh,
elves here, is there not?
Yes, it is gnomes, elves, and tieflings. Gnomes and elves. Oh my god. An 8-year-old elf would make this would be insane. This would be terrible.
I
Way
I
above
I
artists.
I'd like to believe that this town they're all very smart with their wishes
Are you sure?
because
8
early
years
on
old? 8 years old?
not they I feel like elvish children are they're taught from an early age on what they should enact for a law, like something's instilled, but then gnomes and tieflings, maybe they're
There's
like a whole some ridiculous law.
I'm sensing a lot of children either going off to college at 8 or 7 or just them just dying of malnutrition or something. I don't know. I, I would like to know the bozo that was like, and so the children know best what's to be done for this town. Is
I'm
sure getting
also
it all.
thinking this is not really a town that's full of a lot of children as well.
Yeah, if it's
Yeah.
elves and gnomes and stuff, I can't imagine. That's probably what they do. Is that they probably, since it's a town of artisans, they probably train these children as much as they can and send them off to go learn other things, then to
Because I
come
don't,
back.
yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
think yeah, this is definitely not a family town. It seems like
What I have
for
to know at some
raising
point.
family. So
I need to know
something
what,
happened.
but who decided this was the best choice
An
of
8-year
government?
old, an 8-year
An
old.
8-year-old. Oh, I gotta do it now because an 8-year-old said it. Well, shit.
Uh,
This the first
they
8-year old was like, "You must follow my law."
they elected an 8-year-old as a joke, and it just has haunted them ever since.
Four. Oh, yes. So four. Two. Okay. So unique laws. Okay.
I have 11?
11. Hoods and hats are illegal.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
cool.
okay.
And then teen.
I heard teen. What was the first part of that?
Sorry, 18.
18. Blades longer than 2 inches are prohibited inside the city walls unless you're a butcher.
Size matters. Okay, there's the same number. Get away from me, Sith dice. Uh, 10.
If weapons are drawn in the city, they must draw blood.
Mm,
19?
19. Feeding alcohol to a sea creature is prohibited.
Okay,
How are we
Jesus.
getting so many of these doubles? It feels like
8.
it's just 8.
the 8-year-old.
You know what? Wizards must wear the symbol belonging to the school of magic. I'll accept that. All right, cotton scale. I want to know what terrible laws and
Do we need the
customs
punishment
exist.
yet?
Oh, punishment. Correct. What is the
14?
punishment? I got so eager to know what the hell
I
this
know,
this
I am like,
dystopian
I am
society.
here for
Uh, what was the punishment again? 18.
14.
Locked in a room with a screeching kobold choir for 1d6 hours?
Kobolds aren't even in any of the.
They just have a choir
Where
on
did they
hand.
get the
I just
kobolds
yes,
from?
it's their permanent gig, and they're just pleased about it.
That's all they do. They just live in the town. It's just like 7 kobolds just in these little gowns, just waiting. Ahem.
Ah, Christmas tree. Oh.
I imagine this is what happens when you don't follow the 8-year-old's law.
Yes.
Screaming kobold choir.
All right. So
Kind
now
of
to
adorable.
a little kind of now going into the dystopian society we have created in that of cotton scale, where they're livestock rabbits and the rabbit folk and the lizard folk. I desperately need to know these customs, laws, and punishments. So please bestow onto me what terrible, terrible customs these people have.
Okay, this was with a net 20.
Not 20.
Ooh.
Uh, each citizen has composed a brief autobiographical song to be sung when introducing themselves to others.
Oh, it's like a musical town.
Oh
I'm
no.
Peter. I'm Polly.
Schmigadoon.
I came to this town 3 years ago.
4. Roll a d4 for unique laws.
3,
Okay, goody goody gumdrops. What do you got for me?
8,
Wizards must wear the symbol belonging to their school magic.
11.
Hoods and hats are illegal.
Gets in the way of the ears.
Yeah, this covers up the years. 20.
All citizens and visitors must purchase and carry a walking pass to move about the city.
And then,
Alright,
yeah, that was 3.
okay, walking
Kind of
pass.
sad about the walking one.
And me
Did
too.
you want to
Yeah.
do another one?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, go
Yes.
ahead, do another one.
Come on. 14.
Donkeys and horses are prohibited from sleeping outside.
What haven't we seen yet?
You know what? Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and magic shall not be used on the day of midweek. Vegetables cannot be eaten on the second and seventh day of every third week. Crops and herbs cannot be collected at night. And that's pretty much it. That's the only ones we haven't gotten.
I feel like the crops and herbs would make the most sense because, rabbit people, not super safe at night. Can't see super well.
Sure. I'm game for that.
Yes.
Crops and herbs cannot be gathered at night.
Unless accompanied by a lizard folk.
I don't like this because the fact that their livestock is rabbit, like we shouldn't be giving them lizard folk escorts to just get to walk around.
Well, and the fact lizard like actual like lizard folk, their favorite thing in the world is food. Like
Yes,
if you offer them food, they will forego any violence just so they can eat. They're
right.
surrounded by rabbits. Oh,
Give me the punishment, please. Don't take that out of context.
Man, that's another net 20.
Placed under a geas and must act on behalf of the government for a period of time consummate with their crime. What is a geas? An obligation or prohibition magically imposed on a person. So wait, placed under an obligation spell and must act on behalf of the government for a period of time. So basically,
An agent.
you
A
become an
forced
agent of
agent.
a force agent of the government. Okay,
good. Okay, interesting.
That's a what interesting punishment for this town specifically.
what's
Hmm.
okay? What do you want me to do? We need you to work on our PR problem. What PR problem? Well, our major export is rabbits, and you can kind of see that's a bit of an issue here. But to be perfectly honest, we've got the whiskey that helps a little bit with, ignoring the rabbit situation. But we need a PR person here, my friend.
I guess I can't say no.
Now
Oh, you
hop to
can't
it. We got shit to do.
Hop to it.
get out there, make us look good. I know it's going to be impossible for you. Here's some whiskey to help.
Hippity hippity hop. Our stock is great.
Just ignore the screams. Ignore everything that's going on here. Oh God.
Little bunny screams.
Four posts. Four posts. Unique custom. They are humans. They have steel, wine, stabs,
Not
camels.
not one.
What in the fuck? All, all citizens wear masks. Showing one's face in public is considered an insult.
Oh,
Okay, interesting.
full
I'm just
hood,
looking at
like a
their
face mask, like a
Yeah. It doesn't say anything
on
about
the
the
nose,
nope.
oh,
Just
they got the camels thing going.
like a
Oh, 4 laws, cool.
what do we got?
We have 4, so 8,
Wizards must wear symbol of school.
9.
9. Spellcat. Oh, this is interesting. Spellcasters must register with City Guard before
6,
entering. 6.
6.
1 day a year, each citizen must volunteer to catch vermin or clean streets.
Ooh, and 1.
Magic shall not be used on the day of midweek.
This is a very
Okay.
magic centric town, or a magic restrictive town, rather.
Punishment is 12.
Makes sense, I guess, with the salt, the magical stabs, history books. They just don't want to. Yeah, I could see that. You said 12? Stuffed in a locked box with hundreds of mostly harmless insects for 2d4 hours. Not the boo box.
Mostly.
This is
Uh,
kind of fitting in with, like, an archaeologist theme. They're like, "Yeah, no, scarab beetles, guys."
I wonder if this town has experienced a blue vein outbreak,
Oh, okay.
and now magic is very highly monitored here.
I would put that as I like that blue vein potential outbreak. Oh,
And
and I think
they're like, "What type of magic do you do?" Okay, check in with these people here and let them know what magic you do.
right.
Ah, interesting.
Makes sense. It does definitely make sense as far as I want to make sure that the things are kept on a
Tight
tight
leash of sorts.
leash. All right, unique custom for Hamlet. The humans with their swords and knives, carnelian, nickel, and limestone,
9.
and dark spheres. 9. At the age of 14, everyone gets a tattoo of a sunburst on their neck to ward away evil.
Oh,
Yeah.
just like a
From a from on top, a spiral kind of looks. It can look like a sunburst a little bit, like a view
Yeah.
from up top. Oh, you gotta say it now.
one for the law.
Okay, good. Well, quickly, Starburst. What's your favorite flavor?
It's gonna be like pink.
Pink. All right.
Good stuff.
Everyone else out there, you're objectively wrong.
Council has
Uh,
spoken.
Someone said orange somewhere, and I
someone
disagree.
out there whispered orange, and then
Yeah.
another person whispered into their ear immediately, no.
No.
The weird part was no one was there because it is a law of the universe that orange is not the best flavor. Uh, what was the number for unique laws?
One.
One, magic shall not be used on Wednesday. Do we want that one?
Let's re-roll that one.
Okay.
6.
It is not Wednesday, my dudes.
Yeah.
1 day a year, each citizen must volunteer to catch vermin or clean the streets. We're getting to the point now where we've
Yeah,
used most of these, so we're gonna have to settle
fine.
on one. So I will
You
say that
could make up one.
one more reroll, and then if we don't like it, we can make up one. Sure. All right.
What is
So
this place again? The sunburst?
it's Hamlet, ham, spiral, vertical, going up, going down, dark spheres, humans, swords and knives, carnelian, nickel, limestone. 14, everyone gets a tattoo of a starburst on their neck.
We're going over laws, yes?
Yes, one law.
I would I would say if this city is oriented in a spiral, you must stay to the appropriate side when ascending or descending the spiral, lest you be fined.
Appropriate side,
So you have to stay to the right,
Inner.
basically. So if you're descending, you're on the right
Oh,
side. If you're ascending, on the right side, respectively.
appropriate side. All right,
Correct.
punishment.
they must be attached to a pole hung upside down and that spins for 2d4 hours.
Oh, you want to? You okay? So you didn't want to try another one there?
And it's within the spiral. They're just
Oh, because there are others here left in the punishments.
oh, okay. Let's do
Ooh,
it. Punishment
Oh my god.
10.
there's a lot we
Uh,
haven't hit with the punishments, I think.
Unable to pass anyone in town without bowing and apologizing for indiscretion. That makes sense, actually.
Hmm.
Um,
Apologizing for
for
That's like 10.
not going around the wrong. Here's number 7. Made to choose a body part to have permanently removed.
that's kind of wild. You get to pick at least.
Yeah. Uh,
Do toes
my
count?
my
Define body part.
fingernail.
I was gonna say the edge of my fingers.
Yeah,
Uh,
take my fingernail.
I'm gonna say this. So there is still an additional section, or 2, or 3, or 4 that we will not go into tonight. I will say we'll save these, but these involve things like myths and beliefs, legends, businesses, temples, um, and then inns and taverns, names of inns and taverns, the types of tavern descriptions, types of alcoholic drinks. There is I would like to again
So much.
reiterate that this is an amazing source for anyone that wishes to be participating in building their own world or participating in TTRPGs, not only for D&D but for whatever you feel like. Um, I will probably go ahead and say we might come back to this at some point, but I would like to thank everyone whoever joined us on this initial journey. But I appreciate you all taking the time to listen and just joining us this evening, morning, or afternoon, whatever time it is for you. Um, but yeah, so what did you all think? Kind of just the amount of stuff you can do with this. We're
This
not even
is
done.
very deep.
Yeah.
It's deep and it's complex and gives you it's every time we go over something I feel like a spark is made and we're able to come up with it helps with creativity a lot, especially since, you know, a lot of these things I would have never even thought to have I wouldn't have ever thought about before. But now with the rolling, you know, I'm thinking about some calamity because of a threshold that people might need to stay behind. And I would have never thought of that before. So this is amazing.
Yeah, it gives you just enough that your imagination on its own organically can run wild with it because it's got the kindling basically. But you can switch things out and change it. You don't have to be married to a single concept. You can just take it and make it your own. So it doesn't feel like, even though we're rolling dice and we're kind of at the mercy of it, it also doesn't feel like it's cookie cutter or just piecemeal because it's still something you give context to. It's just good
Yeah,
Yeah.
skeleton
I
stuff.
cannot see anybody just randomly coming up with cotton scale on their own.
Yeah.
Right. Who else
I-
could think of the abomination?
Zero of this dystopian Twilight Zone-esque pilot episode of something. Yeah. I I oh god, visiting
Well,
I have,
Cottontail someday.
we have.
But again, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. Stay tuned for more. We are going to be exploring. Maybe we've already done it. Maybe we've already done some episodes about this. But as the goal of this podcast is to be an interactive book club, essentially for TTRPGs. It's to enable us to learn new systems together, to do collaborative storytelling, and to just have a good time doing it. Obviously, we are going to make mistakes. We are going to forget how to do certain things, but that's just the nature of these things. It's mostly, though, to remember that these are games. They are meant to have fun with your friends and to create fun stories and to laugh and have a good time. For the time being, thank you for joining us and have a pleasant day, afternoon, evening, or whatever time it is for you.
so long.
See ya.